All right, welcome back. This is the Labor Forum on WRFG Atlanta, 89.3 FM. I want to thank Left Right for calling and upping the guest that we just had and echoing the importance and value that of the information that they brought about their experiences. So, without further ado, I'm going to turn back over to our hosts. How are we doing this?
All right, thank you. As many times as we hear these stories, each time we hear about the racist repression that occurs, the aggressions that take place by police forces against people of color, workers, and others, the pain just never eases. It just sharpens up again. So I really want to thank Elaine and Morris for coming in, and Marlon for bringing them here. All right, our next guest is somebody I met a couple weeks ago, and I'm really pleased that we're going to be able to have her here on the Labor Forum. So this is Latresa Cheney, and Latresa is a leader among the tenants who live at an apartment complex in Thomasville Heights, and the name of that apartment complex is now called Forest Cove. It's a pretty significantly large set of apartment buildings, and I was able to go to a rally that the tenants organized a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and I've heard stories about the conditions of this apartment complex and the issues that the tenants are having. So this story is that Latresa is going to bring us is really very comparable to what's happening in so many apartment spaces that have been affordable, that either are HUD subsidized or that people can afford on their own. That is taking place, and it's another gentrification story, just like what we are hearing about what's happening in Edgewood. So, welcome to the Labor Forum.
Thank you.
We are really happy to have you here. Your story is, you have gotten some television coverage that I saw, but I think that they only give you a couple seconds, 30 seconds at best, and here you're going to have many minutes. So if you wouldn't mind letting our listeners know just what is this long background, both of how Forest Cove has degenerated or has been allowed to just get in such poor condition, and really to talk about the conditions that many of your friends and neighbors are living under.
Yes, my name is Latresa Cheney, and I'm a tenant leader at Forest Cove Apartments, located on McDonald Boulevard. It was formerly, we called the community Four Seasons, but it was formerly Villamonte. It changed to many names, and I've been there 5 years, and I've been there 5 years. This is my 5th year. I don't know where to start. I mean, we haven't had anyone we have changed management within the 5 years, every year that I've been there. So we're talking about a lot of people having access to a lot of, of the family's private information. And we don't know who. We've reached out to many people, city council, HUD officials, global ministry. We've reached out to Millennium, which is a company that's potentially trying to buy Forest Cove Apartments. And we've been living in these, some of my neighbors been living in these conditions for, I would say, as far as 20 years. I've talked to someone as far as 20 years. And I'm like, how is it that HUD logo is, we're for the families, we're for helping families, but at the same token, you're showing us that you don't care. But you have our social security numbers, you have our children social security numbers, and they're getting credit for monies for us being tenants in Forest Cove, but we're living in poor conditions.
Could you talk about a little bit about that?
Yes, some of those conditions are leaky roofs, ceilings with holes in them, floors with holes in them, out-of-date appliances. The appliances have been recycled from apartment to apartment over years, painted, taped up, refrigerators, stoves, they're not working, stairs are over 50 years old, they haven't came to make sure the wood is okay in the floor, the stairs, the railings are loose, we have railings.
It's not safe.
It's not safe. Mold and mildew, that's a great big concern outside of security. We don't have proper security of our property. As many people around Atlanta have heard, it's a reputation for Forest Cove, which is formerly Four Seasons. I can speak of saying Four Seasons, and a lot of people will understand what I'm saying. But Four Seasons apartment has a reputation of a lot of the children and young teenagers are dying over there. They're getting shot constantly. And I think a lot of that is that we're fed up, but we don't know how to channel that anger out. It's more that we're doing it toward each other. And I just want my neighbors to understand, and the leaders of Atlanta, which is our mayor, our city councils, the officials of HUD, I just want them to understand and listen to our concerns, our pain, our issues. And all we're asking in peace is for decent and safe living. And you're having someone to come and purchase our community just to honor the fact that we want them to honor the fact millennia if they choose to buy Forest Cove, to honor the fact that we have a tenant association, a tenant organization, and we're speaking for our community. Just even acknowledge the fact that that's in your laws, and as part of being a HUD tenant, we can organize. We have the right to organize and talk. But if you try to shut that down and force us back toward one another, we're channeling that anger and our concerns, our issues on each other, and that's not right. That's not right. And we just want them to honor our tenant association and honor our issues. And I feel like that's a great deal. That it's an even swap. You still have your residents, you still collecting your money. But in return, we're asking for safe and decent living conditions.
I was sitting here listening to you, and decent and affordable housing was a demand of the Black Panther Party back 30, 40 years ago. It was on their 10-point platform. We demand safe and decent housing. And it's a shame that it's been 30, 40 years later, and this is the same fight that we're having. Decent and affordable housing. And it's a human right.
I was wondering if you could speak a little bit more, because this is a kind of a complicated thing. So there's a current owner that says Global Ministries,
Yes.
correct? And my understanding is that all across the country, they have allowed the properties they own to decline.
Yes.
And that HUD has actually said to them, you have to sell these properties because you clearly cannot take care of them. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, so then there's this company called Millennial that you understand is interested in purchasing. And there's about, 400 plus units there?
Yes.
And it's spread out. It's really a big piece of property.
Yes.
So now supposedly it's a Millennial Corporation, who I don't know who owns it, I don't know all who they are. Is it true that they have said that if they buy this property, they're going to spend tens of millions of dollars in renovations?
Yes, that's true. We had a meeting with Millennia, with representatives, so we thought of Millennia, and they came in with this kind of set up army around them plan, and it was just a gesture. Like, just we're gonna throw this out there just to, see if we could just satisfy a little hunger in the tenants out there, which wasn't making sense to me, because I'm like, anybody can set up a slideshow and come and sell you a dream, but they never put anything in writing. So their thing with Millennia was, we're going to call all the residents in once the sale is final. We're going to call all the residents in, and we're going to relocate you on property. So meaning that they're going to, well, they didn't say this, but this is what is happening. They're going to illegally evict a lot of the residents over there, move the remaining residents into those old buildings while they renovate. Not demolish and then tear from the ground and clean the ground, because that's what's a lot of what's going on now. The ground is just dirty, it's filthy, and the rats and roaches and everything are returning to the surface to live in our homes with us, and it's not right. But they're going to move us out of our old buildings and into a condemned building. Their thing was, so when I made a comment about that with the, she said she was the regional manager. I don't quite remember her name, but she's no longer with Millennia when we checked that background on that. So that's why I said, supposedly, these are the people that's representing Millennia that was talking to us. But she said that they were going to build up some type of hotel setting and invite the residents that are staying over there into this hotel setting while they fix up our apartments. And some of the other residents are going to go into the condemned buildings. So we're like, how does that make it sense? It's contradicted, but then it's like, no, we want a full rehabilitation. We want a full renovation, not coming in and gutting out the apartments, but to actually tear them down. They've been up plus 50-some years without proper maintenance on them. Because if they were proper maintenance and they would live, we wouldn't be having this discussion. So,
on your flyer it says right to return. Is that kind of what you're talking about now?
Yes. That's one of the demands that we're asking for. I'll just give you a couple of them. The right to return, immediate repairs, better security, safe and decent relocation, better communication from management.
So when you say right to return, it should be 1 for 1. That if you're displaced, that you'll go back to a new home and not be moved off altogether.
Yes. So that's what we for the understanding of the right to return. Just for Millennia to come in and keep their word. As far as making it, safe and livable. But at the same token, we want the buildings to be torn down and rebuilt back up. We want the sanitation of the ground to be, done as well before you build these buildings back up. And that's the thing, we don't understand quite fully the business part of what's going on. Just commonly, living knowledge that that's the only thing we understand is that we're being forced out of our homes, and no one is stepping up to, in HUD or Millennia, no one in power is standing up to support us as far as, those people go, and enforce HUD to enforce the people such as Millennia to keep their property fixed and maintained and safe and in decent condition. And one of those demands that I didn't touch on as well was the better communication from management. We don't have any communication with management. We don't have any management on our property. And if they are there, they're in the office 24/7. And when we come to address our issues to the office, we only get the secretary. And it's like, just write that down. And now they're making copy of our issues. Now they're signing our issues, but still they're not addressing them.
Do we need to take this message? Well, we'll just keep on with the interview then. Let me ask about, so I was at that rally and trekked with you through the woods to get to the management office, which was of course locked and closed. And then saw that there were, I don't know, 7, 8 police cars when the tenants were just doing a march to bring a letter with demands that you read to the attention of the management, who, as I said, locked the doors and nobody was there. I wanted to ask, one of the people that spoke at the rally you had was the grandmother of this 6-month-old baby that had been grazed by a bullet fired in some sort of shooting that was taking place outside the apartment of her daughter. And you mentioned security, and so we also noted that the security that the apartment complex has seemed to be all, when I came, were all up by the, as you all mentioned, hang out by the office. So could you talk a little bit about what it means to be in a secure apartment so that babies that are inside in their mom's arms don't get shot and grazed by a bullet?
Okay, yes, about the security. Well, we as residents over in Forest Cove don't even know if the security is real or not. And we say that because they are they're there to protect the rent office. It has been said out of their mouth. They're there to protect the rent office, not us. So they're not the tenants, it's the residents. So if anything go down, instead of security coming first, because I know that they're going to get the call, if they got a police radio somehow, it's all connected. But instead of them coming first to make sure, everything is clear for the Atlanta police to come, they say they can't do anything until Atlanta police come. So that's like, well, what are you here for? I mean, what is your point of being here? To protect the rent office, to make sure nobody breaks in the rent office and get your personal information. I'm like, that's real wild. And speaking on this security, we're in a gated community, but yet we have so many openings in the gates around our community. It looks like prison gates instead of a gate for a family, to protect children. The gates were really supposed to be put up to keep the children from running in the street, because our yards are close to the road. So that's what the gates were supposed to be for, to keep the children from running into the streets, and to keep people, from just trespassing coming in when they get ready. So I was asking, like, why that couldn't be updated to the point of we have better lighting, because it's real dark over there in our community. Better lighting. As far as the gate goes, a gate where we could put a code in. I know all these things are not 100%, cake proof, and I mean Superman proof, but it's a start to say that we're trying to, monitor our community a little better for the safety of our children. Because we're in the school zone. We're in the elementary, elementary. And we got all these things going on, so it's hard for the children to concentrate in school, because they're worried about, if I get, when we get up early in the morning to go to school, who's going to be outside fighting and shooting? When we come home from school, who's going to be outside laying on the ground in our parking lot dead? And that's what they had to endure this whole summer. And it's not fair to our children. Our city, our mayor, she knows what's going on. She's from that community. So please, ma'am, please step up. We voted for you because we trusted that you would come in and speak and support the community. And not only our community, but the whole city of Atlanta. When you all took away the recreation centers out of our community, that made our children have nowhere else to go. Nowhere to catch that, that lunch when they get out of school. They're still hungry. Because half of the time, a lot of the children can't eat because they're scared. Like, they're scared of, if I sit at my dinner table, I might get shot in the head. We got little children running around our community saying things like that. And that's not right for a small child to be thinking like that and be in fear of their life before they even can be reached to be a teenager. And I just want to touch a little thing on our teenagers. They don't We don't have any more of the little league teams and stuff anymore. We don't have any of that anymore. It's very rare. And it's in the communities that have the resources to fund them. And sometimes the people, the coaches, are coming out their pocket to make sure that the little children can play. And that's sad. That's sad. And it's been going on far too long. And we need somebody empowered. Empowered, meaning Congress, Senate, mayor, state representatives. We need y'all to step up and support us. We're not asking anything wrong. We're not doing anything wrong. But other than, we're taking out this anger on each other, and it's not us. It's not us. So for $7 an hour, and the mom's not at home, so the baby's lacking attention. So that means that they're out unsupervised to do whatever, get in trouble, but then it all still fall back on the mama. I was that single mom. I am that single mom. I'm still seeing after my babies. They 20 through 17, 22 through 17. I still, still that single mom trying to make sure all my children stay out of trouble, to do right. But they get discouraged as well because they see the unfairness, the unequalness. They see that, but they don't really have the knowledge of what's really going on, but they know that it's not right. And they see that their mom is struggling every day to make sure that they are fed, clothed, and have somewhere to stay and protect them. Excuse me. So that's a lot. It's a lot on the mom. So the mom becomes stressed out. And that kind of, just tapping the whole family, like, we got to start somewhere. We need help.
station. She's just crying, and so are we. And then, as we said before, so in the last minute that we have, is there a way for people to reach out to the tenant association or any other organization that can assist, that people could help to assist you in this struggle?
Yes. I would like to give my personal email, and that way, you know, when someone reach out to me, I can go ahead, you know, and direct them and to whom they need to talk to. But we have a big organization called Housing Justice League. That's, you know, they're helping, as well as the Atlanta Legal Aid. They help with the parents over at Thomasville Elementary School. My personal email address is LaTresaCater2 @gmail, and I spell that out LATRESA Cater CATER, one word, the number 2 @gmail.com. And we need some support. We're trying to reach these head people in HUD that's over our community, and the head people as well that's in our, you know, that's over our community in the city, local government, because management is not answering and are acknowledging us as a tenant organization.
All right, on behalf of all of us here at the Labor Forum, I want to thank you so much for really this impassioned plea for justice. And we are certainly going to do everything we can to make sure that we keep your situation, your story, your struggle on the air here at WRFG. And I guess that's what we pledge to you. So, listeners, we had a lot of very heavy things today to consider, and that's, of course, part of the working class struggle as we try to move forward. So, we will be back again next Monday, and as I said, Jacqueline Israel from Domestic Workers Alliance will be on air with us next week. Please do stay tuned to all of the great programming here at WRFG.
It's your boy Miko Worldwide back with another vlog, bro. We in Atlanta, Georgia. Right now we at Forest Cove Apartments, and we with your main man right here. He lives in the neighborhood.
Yeah, what's the fuck going on? Boy, Glock dude gonna fuck around with my man right here, Miko. What the fuck, man? We right here in the trenches, the eight.
Yeah, man.
With the real trenches.
Hey, for the vlog, you gotta speak loud so they can hear you.
For sure, my fault, my boy.
Like, good.
We right here in the trenches, man. See what's going on.
You good? Alright, man. So right now this is called Forest Cove Apartments.
Four seasons.
Four seasons.
They what they name. They four seasons, man.
Okay. Got you. How long you been in the neighborhood?
Shit, since I was little, since I was a goddamn, since I was about 7.
Alright.
So
he OG in the neighborhood.
I'm about 22
man.
now. I'm a young OG actually.
That's what's up. And he a rapper too, right? Yeah, man. Tell them boys your IG, bro.
Glock.Dookie with 2 C's. By the way, Glock.Dookie with 2 C's. DOOKIE. GLOCC.DOOKIE.
Hey, y'all make sure y'all follow that boy, man. For real. Black businesses up and coming. We gotta support each other.
Thanks.
Yeah, man. So what's this area right up here?
Right here. We right here. Right here, my auntie shit right there.
Okay. Got you.
Right there. 337.
Okay. This your man's right here? What's happening, bro? Cueto.
1QUADO _.
1QUADO _. All right. So it's like I see some of the buildings they like boarded up. So tell me about that, bro.
Shit, the motherfuckers, they say they finna rebuild them. They say they finna rebuild these motherfuckers. That's why they like that.
Got you.
But right now, we right here in 1,000, bro. It was everything go on there. 1,000, you gotta get that sign right there.
All right, 1,000 block.
Free the game. Free the whole game, man. Free the fucking game, man. In 2 minutes, I just say free the game.
Why is 1,000 block famous?
Shit, the way I started it, everything happened there. You feel me? Everything go on right here.
Okay. Yeah. I see it.
Okay.
Yeah. So for the people that don't know, which part of Atlanta is this?
Southeast. It's southeast Atlanta.
Southeast Atlanta?
Yeah. It's really just the border. It's like, it feels like southeast Atlanta.
Got you. So it's really just off Moreland, right? So probably 5 minutes we like downtown.
About 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
No, 5 minutes you downtown, no cap.
Okay.
Probably less than that.
Got you. So what's like the environment like growing up here? Kinda how was it? Like what's the people like? What's some crazy stuff that you seen?
The jungle. Yeah, tell you what, you might walk outside and see out here.
Yeah.
It's a real trench. Like, you see what's going on? Look at this shit, man.
Yeah.
Look at this shit. Look. The jungle. Shit been out there for years, like way before me.
Got you. So in these units right here, anybody be like living in there?
They was like I said about 2 summers ago. About 2 summers ago. There was some folk living in all this shit like that. It's crazy. None of this shit the same.
Got you. We could walk down here. Alright, that's what's up, man. I seen a little vet parked out front.
What about? Oh, you
a little vet.
That's my boy, Steen, right?
Oh, word.
Steen, that's my boy.
Yeah, that's a nice little vet. Man.
What you might see out here?
It's true.
I mean, when I say that, no tell me. What you might see out here, you good. You good, though. You real, original.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
So all these are connected, huh?
Yeah, we got a problem out here. That's too much going on. That's too much going on down here, though.
Got you. Let's look inside one of these. Let's look inside one of these.
Cain, Charlie Cain. to Atlanta where them rappers and trappers don't play. All we know is eat, grind hard to get money all day. Welcome to Atlanta where them rappers and trappers don't play. All we know is eat, grind hard to get money all day. Welcome to Atlanta where them rappers and trappers don't play. All we know is eat, grind hard and get money all day. Welcome to Atlanta where them rappers and trappers don't play. All we know is eat, grind hard and get money all day.
Yeah, I don't do drugs, but my guns, they be on the molly. They start acting bugs and start hitting everybody. I'm from where you gotta shoot it out with every party. And everybody acting bug, everybody rowdy. And there's a thug in the heart of everybody. I know how to move the drugs, yo, they never found me. I'll be in everybody's hood, everybody counting. And when it's time to act a hood, they never start without me. Let me get some oxygen. You little bitches are filled with too much estrogen. You not with all the talk, all the chitter chatter. You with the click, clack, growl, everybody scatter. Yeah, better pay me like you pay the pastor. I'm the whole book, not a verse or the chapter. I'm beginning to the end, ain't nobody after. From BK all the way to
Welcome
Atlanta.
to Atlanta where them rappers and trappers don't play. All we know is eat, grind hard to get money all day. Welcome to Atlanta where them rappers and trappers don't play. All we know is eat, grind hard and get money all day. Welcome to Atlanta where them rappers and trappers don't play. All we know is eat, grind hard and get money all day. Welcome to Atlanta where them rappers and trappers don't play. All we know is eat, grind hard and get money all day. I'm talking real rappers from the A, real trappers from the A, real grinders from the city, born and raised in the A. Real rappers from the A, real trappers from the A, real grinders from the city, born and raised in the A. Real rappers from the A, real trappers from the A, real grinders from the city, born and raised in the A. Real trappers from the A, real trappers from the A, real grinders from the city, born and raised in the A.
Real rapper from BK, real rapper from BK, all the way to the A. Real rapper from BK, Charlie Cain, past the flame, pistol whip him in the face. All the way from BK, all the way to the A. And if I said it, then I meant it. Do more than talk the talk. You know I walk the walk. From Brooklyn, East to York. Don't let these dogs bark. If they do, they have a harder bite. Pitbull lock when I'm in the booth and grab the mic.
Welcome to Atlanta where them rappers and trappers don't play. All we know is eat, grind hard to get money all day. Welcome to Atlanta where them rappers and trappers don't play. All we know is eat, grind hard and get money all day. Welcome to Atlanta where them rappers and trappers don't play. All we know is eat, grind hard and get money all day. Welcome to Atlanta where them rappers and trappers don't play. All we know is eat, grind hard and get money all day.
one gentleman, man. Fun Sway girl out here fucking with Isha. Let's do it.
So how did you come up with the name?
I came up with the name as a kid. My name really is Wallace. But everybody, as growing up, it just be Wally World. And as I got grown, everybody just cut it short, World. You feel me?
Where the general come in?
The general just coming from because I'm a stand-up guy, you did. I ain't never back down for no situation in the streets. And I'm a general in my own county, you feel me?
Okay.
Yeah.
So we out here in 4 seasons.
Yeah.
We all the kids out here.
Yeah, no child left behind.
A lot of support.
Yeah, as you can see.
So you're not growing up out here?
Growing up out here was rough. I really didn't have no childhood like that, man. Like it wasn't fun at all. Seeing gunshots ring out every day. Kids getting shot with AKs and all type of shit. Anything you think of, it happened in these parts, man. And we right next to the feds, so it's crazy. So it speaks for itself. But growing up, like, was hard. Me having kids at an early age, had to steal milk, had to do the paper all in linens and shit, sell peanut butters to get by. So it was a real childhood.
Is that what inspired you to want to do music?
Yeah, what really inspired me to want to do music, we had a little crew called YGC in the hood, and my boy Slick, he got down the hood champion, he was rapping and shit, so I got on this song called We Rockin', and ever since then I was like, yeah, I got it, but now I'm just actually taking it serious. It's been like 2 years now, so yeah.
Just 2 years?
Yeah, just 2 years, and they're going great.
Okay. So what's one of your goals that after you finally make it where you want to get, what's one of the goals that you want to do?
Well, one of my goals, we got to come back and get the children, because like you see the youth right here, they right behind me, like we ain't leaving no child behind. But one thing we gonna do, we gonna change everything, the rap wave, the way all this shit is, right? We changing shit. That's why I'm here. I'm the community activist. I'm not no artist. I'm a community activist. I uplift the community. I'm a revolutionary like Huey Newton them. You did?
So what's like one of the memories going back? What's one of the memories that give me a good memory and a bad memory?
A good memory how we just used to get together and just go to the hood parties and shit and just turn up all the way, and it was all genuine love, everybody just together. The bad memories is everybody that who was going to the party is not here no more, like half of them locked up, and just seeing murders and just seeing all your friends just gone, and like 2-3 years tops, like 10 people gone, like you feel me, that you really know, you really went to school with. So that's the bad. Yeah.
What advice would you give some of these young children now?
Man, go to school. Go to school. You're gonna learn more in school. Like, ain't nothing out here in these streets. I'm gonna let you know that for real. Ain't nothing out here. Like, it's big general talking to you. Like, all the hoes in school, all the money in school. Just stay at school, you did?
We saw you the other day. You was you had the Instagram video that's getting all these views.
Yeah.
Spit that song one more time for us.
Which one?
You had the money. You had the pile of money in your hand. The one that's getting the most views. It was like it was a freestyle thing.
In summer. We getting no sleep. Cry for weeks. Catching night on that double G. Break down the key. All these bad bitches notice me. Yo, we getting no sleep. Yo, hey, I got my bitch out of filers. Ooh, she making out a profit. We fucking, she calling me Poppy. These niggas mad, I'm popping. Yo, hey, we stayed down there, we got it. Yo. Hey, we seeing this shit and we copping. I had a bag on both crib. I put the 4 where we need to be. I was a sad for 21. I fucked every bitch at Pt2. Back when I was living with Tree. Stone Hen, yeah, they VV. I talked to old dog. He down the road making a knife in a Fifi. He told me, World, stay humble. You see how these niggas had did me. The streets ain't the same. Nigga be telling the judge gave me half for a 50. I dropped top shot ceiling. I put the streets in their feelings. I pop more shit with a 50. And these niggas talking about millions. Real rap, real factual talk, you know. Struggle story, you know, the real Atlanta. What y'all been missing? No mama rap. Let me mention that. No mama rap. You gonna understand everything I'm saying. And I'm bringing new wave, you did? It's big general, man. We're in the 4 right now. You did? The end that shit's real, though. We don't want to come out there. We trying to change shit. We can't here to change.
Young children caught in the middle of a huge brawl at an apartment complex in Atlanta, and we heard from people who live there who say this is not unusual. They say it's one of the many reasons they don't feel safe in their own homes. So we started doing some research, and we found numbers to back up our viewers' concerns.
Since last June, Atlanta police have been called to the Forest Cove apartments in southeast Atlanta more than 130 times. Joe Hankey talked with residents who say they want the violence to end, but they don't know what to do.
Well, Jeff, I talked with multiple mothers who say they don't let their children play outside of the apartments. One woman told me she hears gunfire almost on a daily basis, either at the apartments or coming from nearby. And everyone I talked with said they knew about the fight fight from Friday, and it did not surprise them. We have video here of that fight. It was posted to Instagram. Dozens of adults and children are outside. Several people are seen throwing punches. One woman hits another woman with what appears to be a baseball bat to the back, and then a man jumps on a woman's back feet first as she is on the ground. Atlanta police are now investigating the fight and trying to identify the people seen in the video. And we have been to the Forest Cove apartments several times for violent crimes in the past. A 1-year-old was shot in the arm in 2014 after being caught in the middle of the crossfire from a burglary turned running gun battle. In 2016, a 5-year-old was shot in the back by a stray bullet. On that same morning, 2 other people at the complex were shot. And last year, a 6-month-old was grazed by a bullet. The girl's mother said doctors told her the bullet was an inch away from killing her baby. Numbers from Atlanta police show officers went to the apartments more than 130 times since last June, mostly for reports of gunfire, but also reported stabbings, rapes, and people shot. One mother did not want her face shown on TV, but she tells me every day she fears for the safety of her children.
All out here, a lot of people out here, they've been out here for 20 years, so that's what they live for. That's all they know. So that's normal. They wake up, ready, for a fight, ready for their kids to get in an argument so it can be a fight.
And this afternoon, Atlanta police sent me a statement which reads in part, "We are well aware of the issues at the Forest Cove apartment complex. This location has been a challenge to us for a number of years, and we remain committed to facing the challenges presented here. This location is frequently patrolled by the zone officers, and we routinely assign our discretionary units to patrol the complex and surrounding areas. We remain in contact with the property managers and their security officers to ensure we are on the same page, and we're working together to address the concerns here." We have that full statement on 11alive.com. And in the past hour, I also received an email from Atlanta City Council member Carla Smith. Smith called the Instagram post heartbreaking, and she said she has received complaints from residents for years. Smith added the apartment owners previously told her the complex would be shut down this past December. That did not happen, and she said the apartment now has new owners, and she hopes they will bring some positive change. Jeff.
All right, Joe, thank you.
Okay, we're going to begin tonight with Atlanta police investigating a huge brawl at an apartment complex. Instagram video shows the fight playing out with a lot of young kids caught in the middle.
Joe Hankey learned this is not the first time officers paid a visit to this complex. Joe?
Well, that's right, Natisha. APD tells me that the video is from the Forest Cove apartments in southeast Atlanta, and AP data sent to me tonight shows that they've been to these apartments 100 plus times since last June for reports of shots fired. There's also been 5 reported rapes there, 13 incidents of people being shot, and 7 reported stabbings. Now, the video was posted to Instagram. APD says this is from last Friday at the Forest Cove apartments. You can see dozens of people in the courtyard. Police believe that several people, that this happened on Friday, and as you see, several people are throwing punches. One woman hits another woman in the back with what appears to be a baseball bat during the fight, and then a man jumps on her back when she's on the ground. APD has 2 police reports from victims they believe are connected to this fight. One report is from a woman with a broken ankle who said she tried to break up the fight between a man and her daughter. Her daughter said she was in a fight with a group of unknown females. Another victim who contacted police about being stabbed described a large fight between 15 and 20 people. Police said the woman had a cut on her back, and it did not appear that she was actually stabbed. Atlanta police tonight released a statement about the fight. They said the department has been working to address problems at this apartment complex for many years. APD has worked to assign more resources to the community and will continue to do so. The disturbing actions depicted in the video are unacceptable and are compounded by the lack of cooperation by witnesses when officers arrived at the scene. Natisha?
Well, Joe, where are investigators with their investigation at this point?
Right now, they just need to figure out who is in this video. They don't know any of the names of the people seen on the video, so they're asking anyone who was at the fight, anyone who has any information, come forward, contact police. If you want to remain anonymous, of course, you can always go through Crime Stoppers as well.
It sounds like they have a big problem at that apartment complex.
It does appear that way.
All right, let's hope they get to the bottom of it.
Well, let's start with the new developments. We're learning about a triple shooting that left 1 woman dead in Thomasville Heights. Atlanta police now tell us the woman arrested and charged allegedly shot her daughter's boyfriend and killed his sister. Officers say it all started over a domestic dispute on Thomasville Boulevard on Tuesday. The 43-year-old suspect fired multiple shots. 33-year-old Shamir Poole was killed. Poole's brother was also shot along with a 3rd person. The suspect is facing multiple charges, including murder.
Atlanta police are investigating what led to a deadly shooting in the Thomasville Heights neighborhood. A man was shot and killed and another hurt Tuesday evening. They say both victims were found near the Forest Cove apartments on Newtown Circle Southeast. Homicide detectives are currently working the case. Right now, they've not released any information about a suspect.
An Instagram video captures the moment right after multiple shots rang out at the Thomasville Heights apartment complex around 5:30 tonight. Police say there were about 200 people in the courtyard when a fight turned deadly.
Based on what the officer said, it was chaos. There was people running around.
The group had gathered to mourn a man friends identify on social media by his nickname, Whisper. He was shot and killed last night after a fight with another person here. Lieutenant Carvin Tyus with APD says as people began to gather for his vigil, a fight broke out and turned deadly.
At some point, two parties in that gathering had an altercation. Individuals produced handguns and shots were fired out here.
A 27-year-old man is now dead.
We don't know whether he was an active participant in this altercation or whether he was an innocent bystander right now. We're still talking to witnesses. There are dozens of people out here, so we're working with the community to just figure out what exactly happened out here.
And police telling us tonight, out of those 200 or so people who were gathered in that courtyard, only one person was injured, and that was the victim who died at the hospital. Tonight, they're still looking for suspects in the shooting, as well as suspects from the shooting on Monday. Back to you, Vinny.
All right, thank you, Faith.
You better turn yourself in. You better pray to God they come and get you.
A plea tonight from a mother to her daughter's killer. According to Atlanta police, a woman opened fire at an apartment complex in southeast Atlanta this morning after an argument. The gunfire injured a man and killed his sister. Fox 5's Claire Sims joins us live from Atlanta Police Headquarters. And Claire, police have not yet said who pulled the trigger.
No, investigators say they do know who is responsible in this case, but they are keeping that information close until they're able to catch her.
My daughter didn't have time to get from the wonder. When you shot through that wonder, you killed my child.
Keisha Jordan says she was there when a woman opened fire and shot her daughter inside her own apartment. Atlanta police responded to the Forest Cove apartments on Thomasville Boulevard in southeast Atlanta after a report of gunfire sometime after 9 a.m. According to investigators, officers found a man and a woman who had been shot. Paramedics rushed the man to the hospital in stable condition. The woman died inside the apartment.
Unfortunately, we lost a life this morning.
Police say the man kicked his child's mother out of the apartment, and they began to argue about whether she had all her belongings. Family members say they heard the child's mother tell another woman to shoot.
My sister is a good person. She work hard. She take care of her children. She's a single mother. She holding down her 5 kids. She is a single mother. And now we gotta go tell her children that they're not gonna ever see their mama no more.
Investigators would not publicly identify the victims nor the suspected shooter.
We do have a suspect that we're looking for at this time, but I do not want to release that information right now, as we would like to do our due diligence to be able to find her through our means before we place that into the custody of the media.
Now, investigators here at the Atlanta Police Department did confirm that a little bit before 1 o'clock this afternoon, there was a second shooting at that apartment complex. They say a man was shot in the foot and transported to a local hospital for treatment. They did say that that was related to this morning's shooting. We are live at Atlanta Police Headquarters. Claire Sims, Fox 5 News.
And new tonight, more than 100 people came together to honor a mother of 5 who was shot and killed in her own home in southeast Atlanta. A suspect has been arrested and the victim's family wants justice. As Fox 5's Rob D'Orienzo reports, the community says there is now a big hole in their hearts.
33-year-old Shamir Poole lost her life in this apartment building earlier this week, while tonight hundreds of members of the community came together to pay their respects to the mother of 5.
She was humble. She was humble.
The grief is still so fresh for family and friends of Shamir Poole. On Saturday evening, hundreds of balloons flew in the air over the home where she lost her life on Thomasville Boulevard.
Everything. She was peaceful, she was beautiful, she was cheap. She didn't like this when she was a little girl.
She'll take in anybody. If she cook, you can eat.
Neighbors described Poole as someone who cared for everyone in the community. Her 14-year-old daughter said she served as a mother figure to kids that weren't even hers.
My mama really took care of everybody's kids out here.
They always come to her house when their parents out here. So, like, if they say they hungry, she ain't worried about the parents. She just fed their kids.
Police say Poole lost her life in her own home at the hands of 43-year-old Andrea Rivers on Tuesday morning. Investigators said Rivers shot the mother of 5, her brother, and a third person during a domestic dispute. Her brother and the third victim survived. Poole did not. Rivers was taken into custody, but Poole's mother said she won't rest until she gets justice.
I'm locked up. You know, she only had one child. My baby had 5. She took my daughter's life away from her.
At last check, the suspect was still in the Fulton County Jail without bond. The children, ages 5, 7, 13, 14, and 16, now have to grow up without a mother. In Southeast Atlanta, Rob DiRienzo, Fox 5 News.
First families began relocating from the now condemned Forest Cove apartments in Southeast Atlanta. 4 families receiving keys to their new homes and moving in. The complex you see here was condemned in December, impacting more than 200 families who've dealt with mold and other issues for years. Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens signing legislation last month for the first $1.5 million in investment money. In total, more than $9 million in American Rescue Plan funding will go to help these families.
Breaking news right now coming out of Southeast Atlanta. Atlanta police on this scene where teens were shot and at least one person was killed. Police tell us at this hour the teens were allegedly breaking into cars at a complex on Boulevard when someone started shooting at them. They somehow managed to make it back home on Newtown Circle where help was called for them. Right now, we are waiting for APD's homicide commander to come out there and give us more details about this deadly shooting. As soon as we learn more, we'll be sure to bring it to you right here on air and 11alive.com.
APD is telling us that 2 teenagers have been shot. 1 person is dead. Let's get straight out to Molly Oak, who has the latest. Molly?
Yeah, police still here on scene at Forest Cove Apartments. Caution tape as well. We want to break down what happened here and what we've learned so far. It started about a mile from here with teenagers breaking into cars at an apartment complex at 1099 Boulevard Southeast. Police say the teens were confronted by someone at the complex, then shots were fired. The teenagers left in a car they stole from the complex. 2 of them were shot, and then police say they came here to Newtown Circle. And this is where the 911 call came from. Again, we do know 1 person is dead this morning. However, we are working to learn a lot more details from police. We'll keep you updated as we continue to get more information. Guys.
All right, Molly, thank you.